The history of Mars exploration is filled with spectacular failures and equally impressive achievements. The red planet is the most Earth-like and is thought to be most likely planet to harbor life. Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun, the next beyond Earth. Earth is 7 times the size of Mars. A year on Mars is equal to 687 Earth days. The highest point on the planet is Olympus Mons, a huge volcano about 16 miles high, 3 times as tall as Mount Everest, and is the tallest mountain in the solar system. Mars is also home to the canyon system of Valles Marineris. It is the largest and deepest in the solar system. Mars has polar ice caps made of frozen carbon dioxide and water that grow and shrink with the changing Martian seasons. The United States was not the first country to try and explore Mars. The Soviet Union began attempts to explore Mars as early as 1960, but was never able to have a successful mission. Both Japan and the European Space Agency have failed Mars missions. The first robotic spacecrafts to land on Mars were Viking 1 and 2. They were sent on a mission in 1975 to determine whether life had ever existed on the red planet. Scientific evidence suggested that Mars had once been a planet with flowing rivers and a denser atmosphere. Only by looking at the soil and the atmosphere could the answers be found. The landers saw cloud layers forming as well as dust storms on the planet. The Vikings consisted of launches of 2 separate spacecrafts to Mars. Viking 1 launched on August 20th, 1975, and Viking 2 launched on September 9th, 1975. Each spacecraft included an orbiter and a lander. After orbiting Mars and returning images used for landing site selection, the orbiter and lander detached and the lander entered the Martian atmosphere and landed at the selected site. The orbiters continued taking pictures and other scientific experiments from orbit, while the landers deployed instruments on the surface. Transmission of the first surface image from the Viking 1 lander began 25 seconds after landing. The Viking 1 lander was named the Thomas Much Memorial Station in January 1982 in honor of the leader of the Viking imaging team. It operated until November 13, 1982, when contact was lost. The Phobos 1 mission was launched on July 7, 1988, from Baikonur Cosmodrome in Russia. The goal of the mission, as with its sister probe, Phobos 2, was to explore the larger of Mars' 2 moons, Phobos. In addition to its instruments to explore the Martian moons, Phobos and Deimos, which mean panic and fear, the probes also carried instruments to study the Sun, Mars, and gamma rays. The Phobos 1 spacecraft was lost on the way to Mars after a faulty command sequence was sent from Earth, causing the spacecraft to shut down. The shutdown occurred on September 2, 1988. The Phobos 2 mission was launched on July 12, 1988, from Baikonur Cosmodrome. The Phobos 2 spacecraft arrived at Mars on January 30, 1989, but was lost while maneuvering in Martian orbit. The loss was traced to either a failure of the onboard computer or of the radio transmitter, which was already operating on the backup power source. The Mars Surveyor program is comprised of 2 spacecraft launched separately: the Mars Climate Orbiter and the Mars Polar Lander. The two missions were to study the Martian weather and climate. These missions are part of NASA's 10-year Mars Surveyor program, which will feature launches every 26 months when the Earth and Mars are favorably aligned. The Climate Orbiter was launched in December 1998. The spacecraft was to enter orbit around Mars on September 23, 1999, after a 9-month trip. A failure to recognize an error in a transfer of information between the spacecraft team in Colorado and the mission team in California led to the crash of the spacecraft. They later found out that one team used English units while the other used metric units for spacecraft operation. This information was important to the maneuvers needed to put the spacecraft in Mars orbit. Despite the fact that the missions to Mars have been both successful and failures, the most spectacular success is a mission that is still going on, lasting more than 900 days more than it was supposed to. In June and July of 2003, NASA sent the Mars exploration rovers named Spirit and Opportunity to search for history of water on Mars. The main goal of these missions is to categorize a wide range of rocks and soils that hold clues to past water activity on Mars. The spacecraft are targeted to sites on opposite sides of Mars that appear to have been affected by liquid water in the past. After the airbag-protected rovers bounced to a landing, they settled onto the surface and the rovers rolled out to take pictures, and the scientists look at the pictures and drive the rovers to where they want to go. Each rover was only supposed to last for 90 days, and they have been working for over 1,000 days and continue to work. This mission has been the most spectacular yet. Spirit, also called Mars Exploration Rover A or MERA, arrived on Mars equipped with numerous scientific instruments and is able to travel about 300 feet each day. Gusev crater was chosen as a landing site because it has the appearance of a crater lake bed. If Gusev was at one time filled with water, the bottom of the crater may contain deposits laid down in a marine environment. Opportunity, also called Mars Exploration Rover B or MERB, was sent to study Mars on the opposite side of the planet from Spirit. Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter reached Mars and went into orbit on Friday, March 10, 2006. The Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, or MRO, is designed to orbit Mars over a full Martian year, 687 Earth days, and gather data with 6 scientific instruments, including a high-resolution camera. More missions are planned to study Mars with the goal of landing astronauts on the planet sometime after the year 2020. These astronauts will have a trip that may last 3 years and may spend months on the planet. The astronauts will have to provide their own food, create their own water and oxygen, as well as recycle all their waste, as there is no way they can carry enough for this extended journey. There will be many more unnamed missions to Mars before the astronauts go, both success and failure.